So let's bring in Republican New York State Assemblyman Jake Blumenkranz to the program. Jake, thanks so much, Assemblyman, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thanks for having me.
You know, what did you make of the meeting between Netanyahu and the president? Because it looks like Iran is building up again, as we knew they were going to do. It's a radical Islamic terrorism there. But it looks like the president is making it very clear that there is a red line there. The moment they start doing it, he's going to respond forcefully.
Absolutely. I think the meeting was the emphasis of peace through strength. And what we saw at Mar-a-Lago, we saw was a unified front between two special partners. Iran is a fleeting and a flailing nation right now. There are protests in the streets. They're running out of water. We're cutting off choke points, as you can see with what he's doing with their trade. And at the end of the day, what we're seeing is a unified Middle East coming together through the negotiations, what was something that was impossible over the course of the 4 years of Biden's presidency. Under President Trump, even people like Hillary Clinton came out after the peace deal and said, this guy, he got it done. And what we're seeing here is a coalition being built that will provide us long-term safety. That is America first at its definition, and doing so while also protecting our partners and strengthening our position in the Middle East.
I want to bring this back home to New York City, and I think it's kind of for the whole country too, because you got Zohran Mamdani, who was expected to be sworn in midnight of the new year, and he has been very supportive of many of the protests in the middle of the street, calling from the river to the sea, globalized the Intifada. Many of the heartbeat of the anti-Israeli, anti-Jew message has been in New York City.
Absolutely.
What's going to happen when he is the mayor here pretty soon?
Yeah, it's a scary question to ask, because the rhetoric he's been using during his campaign will turn into policy and action during his administration. He does have some guardrails, like on a state level, but the state is scared of someone like him in the Democratic Party. He is literally taking the entire party in the state of New York and moving it further and further to the left. And when it comes to the radicalization and the language used around Jews, what scares me most is the people he's going to surround himself with in the administration. Who's going to be his chancellor of education? Watch, he didn't make that choice before he's being sworn in. If it's someone like Jamal Bowman, who has historically had very dangerous rhetoric too, he'll be in charge of the curriculum our children learn for half a decade, maybe almost an entire decade if he wins 2 terms. What will that do to a generation of children? That is the kind of serious and lasting damage someone like Zohran Mamdani can do, and that is what I'm looking at visualizing at this swearing-in ceremony, because it'll be closed, it'll be a bunch of radicals, it'll be the people in his administration, his family, but who's going to be sitting at that dais, who's going to be at that table is important to watch.
You said that the leadership, they're afraid, and these are Democrats that I understand the Republicans don't have control in the city, so I understand there is limited power there. But for the Democrats that have been a part of politics in New York for so long, that say that they have these relationships with the people of New York, why is he able to control so much, even before even being sworn in?
Yeah, it's a crazy political phenomenon to watch, but the reality on the ground is that people are liking what they hear from Zohran in these radical pockets of the city population. And a lot of the messaging around affordability, it's because of failed Democrat politics. But instead of looking towards new visions of what the city could look like, they'd rather radicalize the messaging under Zohran Mamdani. And those who've been institutional moderate forces, they're no longer looking that attractive, and in a primary they could be running scared.
I got about 20 seconds left. An exit question for you. Do you think he's going to moderate, or do you think everything that he said on the campaign trail he plans on implementing?
Well, I think it's less about is he going to moderate, because the answer is definitely not. The reality is we, on a state level, I and my colleagues in government, we need to fight back against where his agenda could create lasting damage to the city, and we, as people who don't want to see this agenda, need to fight back on a unified front.
If you want people to stay in this state, in this city, you definitely got to fight back.
Absolutely.
Assemblyman, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.